Well, hello everyone. My name is Andrew Hockrattle, and I will be at the stage door at the end of the show. Oh, sorry. Oh man, sorry, I was on the wrong theme for our daily creative challenges. If you want to know what that was all about, you'll need to tune in at the end of the month. I'll be back with another set of daily creative challenges. It's a very secretive theme, but I think you guys are going to like this one. So, welcome back. My name is Andrew Hockrattle, and like I said, I will be your host, guide, and mentor and investigator for the next week. We're starting a little bit late this week, but if you're with us, we had last week as well. We are continuing on in our daily creative challenges, which are a detective theme this time. We are going through and learning Illustrator through the lens of a detective story, right? Yes, little teasers, absolutely. Let me know how the setup is. I changed my setup a little bit, so if it sounds weird or if I'm looking weird places, let me know. If you'd like it a little bit different, I can definitely fix that because you all are in charge in this stream. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about what we're doing today. This is the Daily Creative Challenge for Adobe Illustrator, where we do a challenge every single day, and we learn something new. That's the goal, is not to have the best project, not to do the most amazing thing. It's to learn something new and to grow, and most importantly, to have fun while doing it. So let's hop over and I'll show you some ways that you can get involved with these daily creative challenges. The first will be right here. Going to bit.ly/AI Discord. That is the place that you can get involved, that all the conversation is happening. I'm not here to peer pressure you, but like all the cool kids are there. Everyone's doing it. Like it's gonna be fun. So go sign up, bit.ly/AI Discord. That is the place to be. And some great guesses: Masquerade, Phantom of the Opera. Neither of those are correct for the next theme, but they, I guess, are kind of close. They're not that close, but it will be something like that. So hopping over here, I want to show you what goes on in Discord. Right here, it is people right here in the challenge tab. I'm just going to keep saying right here as I stall and figure out what I'm clicking on. This is the place where people are posting their challenges, some really great work, some organization that we worked on last week, some bar charts. Oh, this is really fun. Great job of doing our challenges from the last few weeks. Now you're saying, Andrew, I've seen all these great challenges. What great work this is. How can I get involved? How can I do this? Well, let me tell you. You can go over to behance.net/challenge/illustrator right here, and Wade will drop that link for you so that you can get involved. And this is where you can see all of the challenges that we've done. Now, again, this is the beginning of week 2, so you may have missed some last week. We are doing, again, a detective story. So I'm going to walk you a little bit through what we've done in the last week and maybe point out some lessons that you could go back and take care of. All right, we're back. Oh, that's so much better. I just had to do a little throat clear. I was drinking coffee right before this. So we started out doing a window sign by creating the name of our detective agency. From there, we made some shadow type. We found some letters, and it was a clue that told us a message from the perpetrator that we're trying to catch. Next, we made some business stationery because it was really important for us to legitimize ourselves as detectives. And from there, we went and did some charts and graphs. That's what you saw in the Discord, is making charts and graphs of our suspects' heights, of their different eye colors, and really playing around with how to create charts and graphs in Illustrator. Then we took all of our clues at the end of last week on Friday, and we organized our files. We learned how to use the alignment tools, how to use rulers, how to use selecting certain attributes to organize our files. Now, all of our suspects are lined up, all of our clues are together, and so today we will be looking at 3D objects. What we're going to do is we're going to try to recover the thing that has been stolen. It's an ancient artifact, and it's going to be super, super fun. So stick around for this stream as we jump into doing some 3D. Now, I want to show you guys one more thing, and that's the Adobe Creative Residency Fund. This is a great opportunity for you to get involved and a great opportunity for Adobe to invest back into the creative community. Wade will drop the link for this in the chat, and you can apply to have a project grant if you have an idea for something you want to do. You can apply from $500 to $5,000, or you can be considered for an Adobe commission. And the commission gets anywhere, again, from $500 to $5,000. It gets you on a project that you can work on. You can make a special piece. I finished mine, and I got to work on a new program, which is really fun, that will be debuting. I think I'll be posting about it maybe in the next few weeks here. So it'll be very, very fun, and it's a great opportunity for you to get into the creative community. And yes, hello from Georgia. Hello. That might have a a little sneak peek of what our next tour is. So let me know where in the world you are watching from, and that'll give you some clues to what we're doing on our next challenge. So let's go ahead and hop in with Detective Hawk. I'm going to try to do this costume change again in 35 seconds. We'll see how far we get today. Let's do it. All right. I mean, we didn't not do it. That's the takeaway. We're never going to get this transition. It's too many pieces. So welcome to the Daily Creative Challenge here on Adobe Illustrator. We are going to be today learning about the 3D revolve tools. Really crazy, really, really fun. So let's go ahead and hop in over. And what we need to think is we need to use our imaginations today. We're going to be visualizing a lot today. And what I need you to think of is the outlines, the figures of things that you see in the real world, right? Not necessarily the full shape, but maybe just one side of it. So in our brains, we're going to keep imagining what is the side, what is the profile of the object that we're trying to create. So let's go ahead and hop in over into Adobe Illustrator out of black and white and color. Wow, glorious. So let's hop in here and talk a little bit about our challenge. Today we are going to use the revolve tools to create 3D-dimensional objects, then map your own design onto it. Super fun. So the figurine is missing. See if you can recover it, right? We have all our suspects, so we're going to try to make the figurine reappear here. And what we're going to do first is we're going to think about maybe a vase, right? Let's experiment and see what we can use to create something that can go on this pedestal, right? The figurine's missing, so we need to put something there. Let's go ahead and put a vase on there. Now, with the pen tool, we could very easily come in here and kind of just create what we think is a vase, right? We're kind of just going around here, and this is not what we're doing for the challenge, but I want to show you kind of the idea, right? Is that we'd come in here and we'd create something like this, right? And we're like, okay, cool. That's a vase. It's a vase. Now this is great, but we want it to be 3D, right? We want it to look like an actual vase. We can do the other side. We can take this and we can, just make a copy and then flip it around and make it so that it goes. But it doesn't really, I don't know, it still doesn't have the zing that I want. So what we're going to do is we're going to make this into a 3D shape. We're going to select this shape right here. And from there, we're going to go to Effect, 3D, and Revolve. Now what it's doing is when we click on Revolve, it's basically taking whatever that shape was. So let's turn off the preview. Oh, actually, hold on. So it's taking whatever the shape is, right? And think about this, that it has a pole or a line that goes through right here, right? That this is a line, and it's going to take that and it's going to copy and spin it 360 degrees. So that's what Revolve is going to do, is it's going to spin it along this line. So if we select it and go to Effect, 3D, Revolve, we want to set this right here, the offset, and we'll go back to these. The offset we want to do from the right edge. And that basically is going to take whatever we had on that profile and swirl it around 360 degrees. So there we go. We have a little bit more of a 3D kind of look, but the problem is it's not sitting flat on here. So what we can do is we can select Position, go to Front, and that is just going to push it straight to the front. So we're looking good there. Now it's creating this kind of 3D shape. Love that. Looks good. We want to make sure our angle is at 360 degrees. Again, it's taking that pole position and it's flipping it 360 degrees on there. If you change that, it's going to get really wonky. I don't really know a place where I've used anything other than 360 degrees. So just flip it around there. And then down here in the surface, if you change this to plastic shading, it may be on the wireframe, it may be on no shading, but make sure you have it on plastic shading. You can also choose diffuse shading if you want. We'll get there in a second. But choose on plastic shading. And then down here, the shading color, we can make this whatever color we want. So maybe we want a custom color, and we want red, or we select none for just a basic white. We can drag around the lighting to where it needs to go by using this panel right here. Right, so let's say it's a gallery, so the lighting's probably coming from the top down. Very intense light. So it comes from the top down. We've got some nice lighting. It's looking like it's 3D, and it's looking pretty good to me. So we're going to hit OK, and then we are going to make it so that it's sitting right there on that pedestal. Great. So now we have this 3D shape, super fun, and we have created it, and it looks good to me. Now, there's something missing though, is I want these edges to be a little more round. And what's great is I can actually come in here and I can grab this edge, and because we're taking the profile, right, of this shape, I can go ahead and round it out right here, and it's going to revolve and give me a whole new shape. It's going to revolve again, take that, flip it 360 degrees, making copies of it. Now it's gotten a little bit wonky in some of the areas, and we can fix that by coming into here, selecting our object, going to the effects panel, and clicking on 3D revolve. From there, we can change the blend steps here to like 100, and that's just going to smooth everything out. It's the amount of different colors or steps that it has to get to either one. So in here, you also can change all of the different settings. You can change the light intensity if you want it to be less light. The ambient lighting, you can change everything in there to your liking, whatever you want to do with it. So we're going to hit OK. We're going to zoom out here, and cool, now we've got this nice little ancient figurine, but it's not quite what I want, right? It's cool, but it's not exactly what I want. Let's go ahead and make maybe the figurine is something that is more round, right? And I'm going to show you another tool of the 3D tools. So I'm going to delete that. Actually, let's not delete it. Let's keep it. Let's put it over here. There we go. And we have this nice little pedestal here, but this next one I want to be at an angle. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to get rid of this pedestal. We're going to pull it over here, and I'm going to make my own pedestal. Now, if you think about the outline of a pedestal, right? Close your eyes, think about a pedestal. We only have really 4 or 5 points, right? We're starting in the middle, and we're only doing half. So we're coming over here, and we're making this little pedestal, kind of outlining it the way that we want it. There we go. So that would be maybe what this pedestal would look like. And creating this on the side, we're going to flip it 360 degrees. So go to Effect, 3D, Revolve, and it's going to flip it. Again, it's flipping from the left edge right now, which means that it is going to be flat because this edge is flat. So see how it's going that way? We want it to go the other way, so we'll do right edge, and now it's pushing the other side. We'll change the shading color to none. There we go, and got a nice white, and I'm going to change these blend steps to like 100 to kind of smooth it out a little bit. Cool, looks good to me. Oh, oops, actually I need to change one more thing. So I'm going to, again, very easily come into our panel over here for effects, and we're just going to do this from the front. Let's actually pull it down a little bit. So let's do -20 here so that we can get a good look on it. Oops, there we go. And hit OK. So now we've got a nice little pedestal, right, that is kind of pushing down. We can change the lighting if we want here after the fact. But now we're going to create maybe a more donut shape. And so check this out. Think about taking the profile of something and spinning it 360 degrees. If we want to make a donut, we're literally just going to make a circle, right? Because a circle is going to flip 360 degrees, and it's almost like it is a tube that's being rotated. So I'll click here and go to Effects, 3D, and Revolve. And you can see it's kind of made this awesome little donut. We're going to set the same settings that we have here, which I believe we did -20 and then zeros. We're going to change the shading color to none. And now look at this, we've got a little donut. But we want that donut to be wider, right? We want to, maybe it had something that was hidden inside it. They would place something on here. So the way to do this is to change the offset. So the offset, again, think always that we're rotating around some kind of pole around 360 degrees. Is it saying, hey, instead of staying here, we want it to rotate here and then around. So it's offsetting it from that center point and then revolving it. So check this out. Yes, this stream, anytime I can possibly talk about it, we have donuts. So right here, we change the offset. And as we push the offset out, you'll see that it's actually making that donut bigger. It's saying the center point, we want you to rotate, but by an offset of a certain amount. So we'll make it that. That looks pretty good. Let's do 50 on the different offsets. Cool. And then let's change the lighting to maybe be straight from the top down. So we're going to hit OK. And now we've got this nice little 3D sitting right here that we can put on the same angle as our podium. And from here, we can, again, change some of the settings of this further one to match the lighting. Let's move the lighting up here. There we go. And we will hit OK. And there we go. Now we have some nice kind of 3D lighting of another little artifact that we can put on there. And yes, this you could use Adobe Dimension for a lot of this. This will maintain vectors, which would be nice. And if you're incorporating and want to stay within Illustrator, you can do that very easily here. And I think it would be easier if you're doing like screen printing or something to do it here as opposed to doing it in Dimension. So let's do one more, and that is going to be doing maybe a bottle, right? Or maybe some kind of complicated vase. And this we're going to put our art onto. So let's do a little more complicated vase. So let's come up here. And again, we're just paying attention to what are the sides, right? What is the profile that we're using to create this vase? So this is going to be a fairly complicated little guy. And we're just going to do one side, right? Always just doing one side of this vase or of this shape or the 3D that you're going to be using. So we're going to round all these out a little bit. Actually, I'm just going to round out these sides. There we go. So it's a little wobbly. And again, we're going to select and think about it. We're putting on this side and revolving it around 360 degrees. So we'll go to Effect, 3D, Revolve. And again, it's shifted to the left edge, which means it's going to be flat. If we change this to the right edge, right there, there we go. Now it has a nice little 3D kind of look. We're going to change this to none so we can get our lighting looking really good. And for position, we're going to change it to just front. And changing that axis means that it's going to lay flat and it can sit on our little podium that we've created, right, which is two-dimensional. So there we go. It's looking a little wobbly, so we're going to change the blend steps again to 100 to really smooth it out. And I'm going to show you something else that you can work with, and that is instead of plastic shading, working with diffuse shading. And this is going to allow you to add multiple points of light so that it can really have a nice soft look, like it looks like it is actually being created in the scene. So we can click this little plus underneath the sphere here, and just drag these around, and it's actually adding a second light source. So you can see that light is coming in from this side, but also coming in from this side, right? So maybe we want to do the classic noir thing where it's lit from the bottom on both sides, or maybe there's one that's coming in from that side, one that's coming in just from the bottom. You can play around with what you want those to be. Super, super fun and super helpful if you're trying to just map something. And this helps a lot too for reference. If you're trying to reference and create a vector of something using a style or using shading, you can create a 3D version of it first and then trace over that to be able to implement. So next what we're going to do is we're going to hit OK. And this does look like the artifact that I remember being stolen. But the artifact that I remember being stolen, I think that it was stamped. I think it had something on it that I don't see here. So let's go ahead and add that. What we're going to do is we are going to, oh, is it possible to use color? Yes. Sorry, I'll show you that real quick. So let's go to 3D Revolve. And here you can change the shading color to custom. And we can change whatever we want. So we can do pink. Let's actually do blue. Let's hit blue there, and I'll have that nice blue. And we'll pull these down. Sure. All right, cool. So that lighting is pretty cool. So yes, you can change the color. All you need to do is change the shading to custom, and then you can change out what that color will be with the lighting. So continuing on, let's go ahead and let's do something that we've seen in some of our last files. And that is our Project Falcon. If you've been following along, Project Falcon is our secret project that's been happening under the wraps of all of our other projects. So we're going to go ahead and make this red. And what I want to do is select this and make a symbol. So you can click on this little spade over here. You can go to Window, Symbols, and we're going to click on plus. What that's going to do is it is going to add this as a symbol. So we're just going to name this Falcon Stamp. Falcon Stamp. And we're going to hit OK. So we want to make sure that it's a graphic. And now what we can do is we can actually select our 3D object, go to Effects over here, click on 3D Revolve, and with all of these options, the one that we want to pay attention now is Map Art. So if we click on Map Art, it's going to show us all of the faces that are happening, and it will highlight it in red here. And you need to be careful because sometimes one of the faces will be in the back or the front. So we usually want to go to the back. It's going to show us all of these faces that are happening. And usually the ones at the end are the ones that are facing in the front. So let's go ahead and find one that we want to put our mark on. Let's do the bottom one if we can get that. Ooh, actually, let's do this. Yeah, so let's put it on the bottom. So Falcon Stamp. So what we're going to do is with the bottom selected, right? You can see with the red that it is actually at the bottom here. Is we can map on the Falcon Stamp. And it's going to show you where we can put this. You can scale if you want to in any direction. And let's just put that right in the center there. So we're going to hit OK. And we're not able to see it now, but it has mapped that art of the symbol onto our 3D object. And check this out. Because it is a 3D object, if we rotate it, you'll be able to see that it is hidden on the bottom of this object, right? As it starts to move around, and you can drag this cube to get new interesting angles. As you see, it is mapped onto the bottom, that Project Falcon, right? It's hidden away in the shadows. So you can map stuff on and really create anything you want, which is super fun. Another way to do this is, let's say that you wanted to create this vase, right? If you're using this vase that we have made, is we can maybe do some fun lines. So let's do this. Let's just do a fun little kind of Tim Burton-y line. Let's select all those and create one symbol. Change it to lines. And now let's go ahead and mess with this. Let's go into our effects, our 3D revolve, and then let's map some art onto it. So we're going to map art, and we want to put it on not the bottom, just the side. So this one only has 2. So we'll put the lines on there, and we'll just stretch these lines out all the way. There we go. We can do invisible geometry, which means that it's going to basically take away any of the shading. We'll hit OK, and maybe let's change the lighting a little bit to do that. Hit OK, and it looks like it's my Illustrator having a little bit of trouble with all of the things that I'm trying to render. So let's do one more time. We got just a minute, so I'll give it one more shot. This happens sometimes with my computer, that it decides, you know, Andrew, you're trying to do something crazy. I don't know how I feel about that. And I say, sorry. So we're going to go ahead and do our shape. We're going to do revolve one more time from the right edge, and we are going to map some art on there. And let's do the lines. We'll bring this all the way across and all the way up. And make sure that that is indeed, yes, the place that we want it. So we're going to hit OK. I'm going to change the shading to none, and there we go. That's what we wanted. So we'll hit OK. So just mapping that art, you can take something and it will map it onto that 3D object. Super fun, super easy, and you can create some really interesting, crazy vases, podiums, stands, whatever you want. You can create in 3 dimensions, and just remember that you need to make whatever your graphic is into a symbol and then put it onto that shape, and it will wrap it in 3D. Super helpful tip for you. So what I want you to do again is to go to behance.net/challenge/illustrator. That is the place to be. Right over here, behance.net/challenge/illustrator. You can download the source file right here to create your 3D objects. And once you're done with that, you can go up here to bit.ly/AI Discord and get involved, get plugged in. What's floating behind my head? Oh, it's just an extra little piece. Okay. You can go to bit.ly/AI Discord, put in your projects into our tab, which is the challenge tab. People are already putting stuff in there, which is really great and super fun, and get some great feedback from myself, as well as our mentors that are lingering in that chat. So thank you so much for joining today. Let's look at the schedule of coming up next. We have our friends Puno from I Love Creatives doing some video editing, Jesse Showalter's continuing on with the Adobe XD challenges, and to finish out the day, Alice Lee's back with some doodle therapy. So make sure you stick around for those streams. And as always, I will be here for the next week with you at 11:30 every single day. We're hot on the trail. We've got the piece back that we needed, and tomorrow we'll be showing you how to get that real noir look. We'll take something that's in color and make it into black and white using blending modes. And then continuing on through the week, we're going to be doing custom brushes to track down the footprints of our suspects. And at the end, I'll show you how to make some patterns so that once we arrest them and we get them booked, they'll have something nice to wear. So stick around for those creative challenges, and I will see you next day. I'll see you tomorrow on our next daily creative challenge. Bye.